The winter of 2025 into 2026 is shaping up to be anything but calm. NOAA is warning that La Niña conditions could bring harsher cold snaps, heavier snowfall, and wildly unpredictable weather across large parts of the United States. One week might feel unusually warm, and the next could deliver a full-blown blizzard. When weather patterns turn unstable like this, food prices almost always rise again. Many adults over 50 are already saying it outright. Grocery shopping costs nearly twice what it used to. And it doesn't take much to make things worse. A single major storm can shut down supermarkets for days, disrupt transportation routes, and leave store shelves bare. Those who wait until the last minute are usually the first to feel the strain. That's why we're breaking this down now. Here are 15 must-have grocery items you should consider stocking up on before next month. To sidestep shortages, avoid sudden price spikes, and make sure you always have reliable food through the winter season. We'll begin with number 15, an item most people overlook, but one that quietly becomes essential the moment the weather takes a turn. 15. Rice. If you had to pick just one food to set aside before next month, rice should be at the very top of the list. Not because it's inexpensive or familiar, but because rice has proven, time and time again, to be a cornerstone of survival during hard times, whether that's blizzards, supply chain breakdowns, or runaway food inflation. Rice has a unique advantage that very few foods can match. It keeps you full for hours, takes almost no effort to prepare, stores easily, and, when kept properly, can remain edible for 25 to 30 years. That means the rice you buy today could still be safe to eat decades from now. A single kilogram of rice can transform an empty kitchen into a place of security. Just 1 cup can stretch into a satisfying meal for the whole family when resources are limited. And when storms hit, trucks stop moving, or panic buying sets in, rice is almost always the first item to vanish from store shelves. Viewers over 50 tend to recognize this pattern better than anyone. Rice is gentle on digestion, straightforward to cook, and doesn't require any special skills. All you need is water, a bit of heat, and simple seasoning to create a warm, dependable meal. Its versatility makes it even more valuable. Pair it with beans, canned meats or fish, vegetables, soups, or eggs, and you've got a complete, filling dish using just a handful of affordable ingredients. The most concerning part is how quickly rice prices climb when inflation returns or cold weather sets in. Increases don't happen gradually. They jump with each shipment, sometimes week by week. In some regions, stores even run out entirely as demand surges. That's why rice holds the number 15 spot, and why it's arguably the most critical item on this list. Rice isn't just food, it's insurance, it's preparation, it's a quiet shield against the disruptions that may arrive as soon as next month. Stock up now. Waiting could cost you more than you expect. 14. Canned beans. Think of this as a final reminder, because canned beans usually get attention only after people start feeling a little too comfortable and assume they don't need to prepare anything else. That's a mistake. Canned beans are one item you really can't afford to overlook heading into next month. If rice forms the base of a smart stockpile, canned beans are the nutritional engine that keeps everything running. And here's why that matters. They're one of the most reliable sources of protein, fiber, and calories you'll find in a typical American grocery store. No soaking, no long cooking times. You simply open the can and eat. Warm them for a few minutes, or add them to another dish, and you instantly have a complete, satisfying meal. For people aged 50 and up, canned beans check every box. They're easy on digestion, filling without being heavy, rich in nutrients, and incredibly convenient, especially during power outages, fuel shortages, or those cold days when cooking feels like too much effort. Another major advantage often gets overlooked: shelf life. Many canned beans remain good for 2 to 5 years, without any noticeable drop in quality. When supply chains falter, meat prices spike, or winter storms leave grocery stores half empty, canned beans can become a genuine lifeline. They're endlessly versatile too. Use them in soups, salads, chili, rice dishes, pasta, or eat them straight from the can if you have to. A single small can holds enough energy to function as a full meal, something very few foods can realistically claim. Here's the hard truth most people learn too late. When stockpiling starts, canned beans are among the first items to disappear. Shoppers rush to grab them because they're convenient, nutritious, affordable, and require almost no preparation. So consider this your final nudge. Canned beans aren't just a side dish. In difficult moments, they become essential fuel. Make sure they're in your cart before next month brings surprises you didn't plan for. 13. Dry beans. Dry beans are one of those items rushed shoppers almost always skip, but people who truly understand preparedness make sure they never run out. When it comes to long-term food storage, very few foods can match their durability. Stored correctly in mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, dry beans can remain usable for up to 30 years. You buy them once, and you're set for decades. But their value goes far beyond long shelf life. This winter is expected to bring repeated deep freezes, early snow events, and disruptions to transportation networks. When supply chains slow down and meat prices climb week after week, affordable, high-protein foods like dry beans quietly vanish from store shelves, often faster than people expect. A simple bag of dry beans that costs just a few dollars can be turned into a large pot of soup, chili, or stew, enough to feed an entire family. They deliver protein, fiber, iron, magnesium, and other nutrients that are especially important for adults over 50, whose bodies tend to lose energy more quickly in cold conditions. Dry beans are also incredibly flexible in the kitchen. Pair them with rice or pasta, add them to salads, or mash them into spreads and fillings for quick, hearty meals. When freezing weather makes cooking feel like a chore, many people avoid dry beans because they think they take too long to prepare. In reality, all they require is a soak and a gentle simmer. That's it. They're inexpensive, nourishing, long-lasting, and surprisingly easy to use, making them a true pantry backbone when winter storms empty grocery stores. If there's one item you should buy early, before next month brings unexpected weather shocks, dry beans belong at the top of that list. And if this breakdown is helpful, tapping the like and subscribe button helps make sure more people over 50 see this information and have time to prepare, just like you. 12. Canned meat. Canned meat is the final safety net when fresh meat disappears. People who've lived through harsh winters often call it exactly that, the last line of defense. And there's a reason the title sticks. In the US, whenever severe weather hits, transportation slows, or prices spike, fresh meat is usually the first thing to vanish from grocery stores. Once those shelves are empty, canned meat becomes the only dependable protein source left. Its importance has nothing to do with taste or convenience compared to fresh meat. What makes canned meat essential is reliability. It's shelf-stable, long-lasting, and completely independent of refrigeration. During winter, even a short power outage can ruin everything in your freezer. But canned meat doesn't flinch. It stays safe, intact, and ready to feed your family when you need it most. For adults over 50, protein is critical. It supports muscle strength, stamina, and immune function. Yet this same age group is often the most affected when food supply chains break down. Having canned chicken, tuna, salmon, or beef on hand when icy roads make travel impossible isn't just practical. It brings peace of mind. It's the reassurance that you're covered. Another advantage people often overlook is how easy canned meat is to use. There's no complicated cooking required. Open a can, add it to rice, soup, potatoes, or pasta, and you've got a complete meal, even in freezing conditions or when stores are wiped out. And here's the reality. Every winter, canned meat is one of the fastest items to sell out. The people who bought it early are always the calmest when things turn chaotic. I am canned meat, the last line of defense, when fresh meat is gone, and if there's one item you should bring into your home before next month, this is it. 11. Dry pasta. Dry pasta may look simple, but it's one of the most dependable foods you can keep on hand when life starts to feel uncertain. It's not flashy or complicated, yet few items can turn an almost empty kitchen into a satisfying, complete meal the way pasta can. What makes dry pasta so valuable isn't just its low cost. It's how easy it is for anyone, at any age, to prepare. All you need is boiling water, no fresh meat, no refrigeration, and no special cooking skills. During winter storms, power outages, or times when store shelves are picked clean, pasta quietly becomes a lifeline for older households. It allows you to stretch whatever you already have. A can of chicken, a jar of tomato sauce, a handful of canned vegetables. Mix them in, stir for a few minutes, and you've got a warm, comforting meal that helps restore energy and body heat. Something many people overlook is how pasta extends the usefulness of every other food in your pantry. You end up using less meat, making canned items last longer, and turning small portions into filling meals. For adults over 50, pasta is especially helpful. It's gentle on the stomach, keeps you full for longer, and prevents that empty, drained feeling that cold weather can bring. And when snowstorms hit or transportation slows, the pasta aisle is often one of the first to be cleared out. When uncertainty sets in, people always fall back on classic, reliable foods, and pasta is exactly that. Don't wait until shelves are bare and everyone else is grabbing the last boxes to remember how essential pasta can be. If this section helps you feel more prepared for next month, a simple like can help this message reach more families who could use the same peace of mind. 10. Oats. Oats are one of the most reliable, hunger-fighting breakfast foods you can keep on hand when times get tight. They're inexpensive, heart-friendly, and built to last, which makes them especially valuable when winter weather or rising prices start limiting your options. What truly makes oats essential isn't just their reputation as a healthy food, it's the steady, long-lasting energy they provide. For adults over 50, that consistent fuel helps prevent fatigue on cold days, during periods when fresh food is harder to find, or when grocery budgets need to be stretched further. Thanks to their low moisture content and dry structure, oats are naturally resistant to spoilage. Stored properly in a cool, dry place and protected from pests, they can last for years without losing their nutritional value. One of the biggest mistakes people make is leaving oats in their original paper packaging. A bit of moisture, or insects like ants or weevils, and the entire supply can be ruined. Transferring oats into airtight containers, or mylar bags, is the best way to protect them for long-term storage. When a crisis hits, power outages, icy roads, empty dairy shelves, or limited access to fresh food, a simple bowl of oatmeal can make a big difference. All it takes is boiling water to create a warm, comforting meal that's easy on digestion, yet nourishing enough to keep you going through the day. For older adults, oats offer another important benefit. They support heart health. The beta-glucan fiber found in oats helps manage cholesterol, making them a smart choice beyond just emergency use. Compared to many other grains, oats are affordable, durable, and incredibly versatile. Don't wait until the shelves are bare to remember their value. And if this section helps you feel more prepared, a simple like can help this information reach others who need it just as much. 9. Lentils. Lentils are one of the few protein sources that actually outperform dry beans nutritionally. And they have another major advantage. They cook incredibly fast. That combination makes them especially valuable during the coldest days, when time, energy, and fuel are all in short supply. What sets lentils apart isn't just their high protein and fiber content, but how quickly they come together. When temperatures drop, the power goes out, or cooking fuel is limited, lentils can still become a full, satisfying meal in minutes. Unlike dry beans, there's no overnight soaking required. All it takes is a quick rinse, a gentle simmer, and a pinch of salt or seasoning. In a short amount of time, you have a warm, creamy, nutrient-rich dish, ideal for adults over 50, who need something light on digestion, but strong enough to restore energy. One common mistake is improper storage. Lentils kept in thin packaging or humid environments absorb moisture easily, discolor over time, and lose quality. Storing them in airtight containers and keeping them away from sunlight helps preserve them far longer in your pantry. When meat prices spike, grocery stores run low, or winter weather disrupts deliveries, lentils become a critical alternative protein source. They're filling, easy on the stomach, and, most importantly, don't rely on refrigeration. Lentils aren't just something you store for emergencies. They're the fastest way to put together a safe, nourishing meal when you truly need one. If you've stocked lentils before, leave a comment and share what worked for you. Your experience could help someone else prepare. 8. Canned vegetables. Canned vegetables often become the last remaining source of real nutrition when fresh produce vanishes from grocery store shelves during winter. Their importance has nothing to do with convenience or low cost. It's about preventing vitamin deficiencies, which become a real risk during snowstorms, power outages, or transportation shutdowns, when fresh vegetables are unavailable for days at a time. According to the FDA, Canned vegetables retain about 80 to 90% of the nutrients found in fresh produce. Key nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin K, fiber, and essential minerals remain largely intact. For adults over 50, this matters even more, because cold weather can weaken the immune system faster and drain the body's reserves. One of the biggest misconceptions is that canned vegetables are bad food. In reality, the difference comes down to selection. Choosing varieties that are low in sodium, with no added sugar or syrup, gives you a reliable, safe vegetable source that can be stored for months without meaningful loss in quality. During emergencies, canned vegetables serve another critical purpose. They help stop your body from slipping into nutrient depletion. Something as simple as a can of green beans or carrots can transform a bare meal into a balanced one, helping people over 50 restore energy and feel steadier much faster. Fresh vegetables disappear quickly in winter. Canned vegetables don't. And sometimes, opening a single can during a hard moment is enough to remind you that you're still okay and still prepared. What canned vegetables do you usually keep stocked? Share in the comments so others can learn from what's worked for you. 7. Canned fruit. Canned fruit becomes a critical vitamin backup when winter clears fresh fruit off grocery shelves. Its value isn't about sweetness or convenience, it's about reliability. In cold weather, fresh fruit is usually the first thing to disappear. A snowstorm hits, roads freeze, delivery trucks stop moving, and within a day the produce section is often empty. For adults over 50, going even a short time without key vitamins, especially vitamins A and C, can lead to fatigue, lowered immunity, and increased susceptibility to colds. That's where canned fruit steps in. It provides a dependable, shelf-stable source of essential nutrients when fresh options simply aren't available. According to the FDA, properly selected canned fruits still retain most of their nutritional value. Vitamin C from peaches, vitamin A from mangoes, fiber from pears, pineapple, or mixed fruit blends all remain largely intact when processed and stored correctly. The mistake many people make is choosing fruit packed in heavy syrup. That leads to the belief that canned fruit is unhealthy. In reality, selecting options packed in juice or with no added sugar gives you a clean, safe, long-lasting source of vitamins that can carry you through the coldest months. On days when meals are built mostly from canned goods and carbohydrates, opening a can of fruit can make a surprising difference. It adds nutrients, boosts energy, and even lifts morale. This is especially helpful for older adults who may find vegetables or heavier foods harder to tolerate in cold weather. Canned fruit isn't just an easy dessert. It's a nutritional safeguard, one that helps keep your body resilient when winter tests every household. What kind of canned fruit do you usually keep on hand? Peaches, pineapple, or mixed fruit? Share your choice in the comments so others can learn from your experience. 6. Canned soup. Canned soup is one of the fastest ways to get a warm, comforting meal when the cold becomes relentless and your kitchen options start running thin. There's a reason soup is always among the first items to vanish once winter sets in. When weather conditions worsen, energy is low, the power goes out, or your pantry looks nearly empty, canned soup becomes the safest, quickest, and most complete option available. With just a few minutes of heating, you have a hot bowl that helps restore body warmth and bring your energy back up. That immediate comfort matters more than most people realize during cold, stressful days. What truly sets canned soup apart from other shelf-stable foods is that it's already fully prepared. The protein, vegetables, and broth are all combined in one can. For older adults, this is especially important. There's no need to stand in the kitchen for long, no complicated steps, and no concern about missing key nutrients when cold weather can drain the body more easily. One common mistake is only buying a single type of soup. Eating the same flavor over and over can quickly lead to fatigue. Stocking a variety, chicken noodle, vegetable, tomato, beef stew, or similar options, makes meals easier to rotate and helps ensure a broader range of nutrients during difficult periods. When snowstorms shut down transportation and grocery stores run low on fresh food, a single can of soup can feel like a lifeline. It warms you from the inside, soothes exhaustion, and helps older adults recover faster after long, freezing days. Canned soup isn't just a side dish. It's the emotional and nutritional anchor of winter. What kinds of soup do you usually keep stocked? Chicken noodle, tomato, vegetable, or something else? Share your favorites so others can learn from your experience. 5. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is pure, concentrated energy. Exactly what the body needs during cold, demanding days. Its real value isn't about taste or convenience, but how efficiently it fuels you. Just a single spoon delivers a powerful dose of calories that helps keep the body warm and the mind alert, which is especially important for adults over 50. Cold weather increases energy burn, and meal routines often become inconsistent. This is where peanut butter shines. It combines protein with healthy fats, giving you long-lasting energy without requiring preparation or cooking. One of its biggest strengths is durability. Peanut butter has a long shelf life and remains safe to eat even during power outages, supply shortages, or transportation disruptions caused by winter storms. While other foods spoil or disappear, a jar of peanut butter stays reliable, ready whenever you need it. A common mistake is choosing varieties loaded with added sugar. For people over 50, natural or no added sugar options are a smarter choice, helping maintain stable blood sugar levels and manage weight throughout the winter months. Another major advantage is versatility. Spread it on bread, stir it into oatmeal, pair it with crackers, or take a spoonful on its own when your energy suddenly drops. It's fast, filling, and deeply nourishing. Peanut butter is one item you'll want safely stocked in your pantry before next month arrives. Are you a creamy or crunchy fan? Share your preference in the comments. Others may appreciate the recommendation. 4. Powdered milk. Powdered milk becomes a nutritional safety net when winter storms wipe fresh milk off store shelves. And this year, that shortage is likely to happen faster than usual. Deep freezes, icy roads, and refrigerated trucks falling behind schedule can disrupt deliveries almost overnight. Once transportation slows or stops, fresh milk is often gone within hours. So why should powdered milk be on your list before next month arrives? First, prices are already creeping up week by week. Rising transportation costs and supply uncertainty make milk especially vulnerable during winter. Second, powdered milk doesn't depend on refrigeration. One power outage can spoil fresh milk completely, while powdered milk remains safe, shelf-stable, and ready whenever you need it. For adults over 50, powdered milk also provides essential nutrition: calcium for bone strength, protein for energy, and vitamin D, which becomes even more important during colder months with less sunlight. One common mistake is buying only small packets. If you're serious about preparedness, larger cans of whole milk powder or non-fat dry milk make far more sense. They last longer, offer better value, and can be used in many ways. Powdered milk is incredibly versatile. You can drink it, stir it into oatmeal, add it to soups, or use it for baking. On snowbound days, just a small amount can help keep meals warm, balanced, and nutritionally complete. What type of powdered milk do you usually keep? Whole or non-fat? Share your preference in the comments. And if this section helped you prepare, a quick like or subscribe helps this information reach others who need it just as much. 3. Instant potatoes. Instant potatoes are the definition of an emergency meal. With nothing more than hot water, they turn into something warm, filling, and easy to eat. Especially important for older adults when energy is low and cooking feels like too much. Their biggest advantage is speed. When temperatures drop, power is unreliable, or exhaustion sets in, instant potatoes are ready in 1 to 2 minutes. That quick preparation delivers a carbohydrate-rich meal that helps maintain body heat and restore energy when you need it most. Compared to instant noodles, instant potatoes have clear benefits. They tend to keep you full longer, contain less sodium, and are generally a better fit for people over 50 who need gentler, more balanced nutrition during winter. Another major plus is shelf life. Instant potatoes can be stored for months without worrying about spoilage. They're also surprisingly flexible. Serve them as a side, make them the main dish, stir them into soups, or mix them with canned meat to create a hearty, complete meal. On days when snow piles up and cooking options are limited, instant potatoes can genuinely feel like a lifesaver. Which flavor do you usually keep on hand? Classic, butter, or garlic? Share in the comments so others can learn from what works for you. 2. Honey. Honey is the closest thing to an immortal food you can keep in your pantry. It doesn't spoil, whether you store it for 5 years or 50. During the winter months, honey's value goes far beyond sweetness. It works as both nourishment and natural medicine at the same time. When cold weather irritates your throat, triggers lingering coughs, or leaves your body feeling run down, a single spoonful of honey can help. It soothes soreness, supports the immune system, and delivers quick, clean energy, without the sharp blood sugar spikes caused by refined sugar. For adults over 50, this matters even more. Honey is absorbed slowly, helps keep energy levels steady, and is gentle on digestion. It's fuel without the crash. What many people don't realize is why honey lasts forever. Its low moisture content, natural acidity, and antibacterial properties make it nearly impossible for bacteria to grow. Even if honey crystallizes or darkens over time, it remains perfectly safe to eat. A common mistake is assuming thickened honey has gone bad and throwing it away. In reality, all it needs is a warm water bath to return to its smooth, liquid form. Honey is something you want in your pantry every winter, without question. What type do you prefer? Raw, local, wildflower, or clover? Share your favorite so others can learn from your choice. 1. Canned bacon. Canned bacon isn't about survival, it's about morale. When winter stretches on and meals start to feel repetitive and bland, canned bacon brings something powerful to the table: comfort. The combination of fat and protein delivers dense calories that help keep the body warm, which becomes especially valuable after days without fresh food during heavy snow. It's also one of the quickest ways to improve almost any meal. A little bacon can instantly elevate soups, noodles, potatoes, or rice, turning basic food into something satisfying and enjoyable. In difficult times, morale matters just as much as nutrition, especially for older adults. Enjoying a meal can make a long winter day feel manageable instead of draining. Canned bacon has practical advantages too. It has a long shelf life, requires no refrigeration, and can be used straight from the can. One important tip, though: avoid overly salty versions. For people over 50, choosing low-sodium options is the smarter choice for heart health. While canned bacon isn't as essential as staples like beans or rice, it often becomes the item that keeps a winter meal plan enjoyable for far longer than expected. Have you ever tried canned bacon? If you have, share your experience. Others may benefit from your insight. These 15 items aren't meant to sit untouched and forgotten. They're your winter shield when snowstorms shut down roads, when food prices jump, and when stores close but you still need warm, safe, complete meals. And remember this: stockpiling isn't about fear. It's about peace of mind. It's about protecting your family and staying prepared in a smart, calm way. I'll see you in the next video, where I'll show you how to get through the American winter with confidence, without panic, and always one step ahead of whatever disruptions come next.